I'm here at the Australian Conservatives New South Wales Activate State Conference for 2018, and I'm here with the leader of the party himself, Cory Bernardi. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes with me. I promise it won't be as long as our first interview.
It's a pleasure, always a pleasure, Dave.
Now, one of the things I want to chat with you about is, you know, maybe I just hear all the disgruntled people, but I thought, look, you're doing a great thing, you're standing out, you're trying to do a different thing and a new thing, but the criticism I hear from some of the members and people who want to love you with all their heart is that you're not like the party that you left, that you're not like the Liberal Party, the traditional party model. They're looking for branches and chairmen and local campaigns with you know, a lot of similarities to the Liberal Party, which a lot of them have left.
It's extraordinary. A lot of people leave political parties to join another political party which they want to be exactly like the one they left. We are running a completely different business model, if I can put it like that, where we're relieving administrative responsibilities and obligations from people. We're allowing people to participate at the level that they want to. If you want to, you know, form a branch, as you had done in the Liberal Party, we'll start a supporter group meeting. It's not called a branch. It's about getting people together to take action. It's not about giving someone a gavel and saying, I'm the chairman and here's my power and I'm going to move a resolution to you know, advise the party of this. It's about actually doing something which is going to make a difference on the ground. And so when people say to me, you know, we want to create these formal structures, I say, why don't you go out and do some letterboxing? Why don't you get some people, encourage them to share the message, invite them around for a cup of tea, go to the pub and have a drink. It's meant to be a social and active environment, not one that's built on officialdom and creating, you know, power centres.
Yep. While what you're saying makes sense, you know, I know there's so many of these people who are attracted to a political party because it's an opportunity for their own power and control. The opposite can also be said, that when you're not doing it that way, it seems to some like it's actually all about your control, about central government and centralisation, which is, you know, I guess the kind of collectivism that Conservatives and right-wingers are really resistant to.
Well, it's actually the opposite. It allows people to participate at the level of engagement that they want to. Some people do want to go to a regular meeting every month. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are very happy just being a member of a party, being activated during campaigns or on the day. We've had people deliver tens of thousands of bits of literature through letterboxing and door knocking over the last year. They're individuals that are doing it.
Yep.
Now, not everyone can do that. Some people can contribute money, some people have ideas, some people have resources. We have online forums, I guess, where people can contribute to policy, they can have a say, they can vote for, you know, candidates and ideas that come forward. All of those things break the traditional party mould, and that's why we're actually doing better than a lot of people would have expected from a start-up party.
That hints about one of the questions I was leading into, but you're already there, so let's go there. How does the feedback and the influence from the grassroots members actually get processed, digested, weighed and implemented?
Yeah, we've done a number of surveys in policy areas. So we take them in broad swathes, for example, and then we digest it and we come up with a policy creative that is broadly reflective of where our members are at. Now, that doesn't mean...
I'm interested in the mechanics. How do you collate like 1,000, maybe 10,000 different opinions that are coming through via email?
Well, it doesn't come through via email. That's why we have a members website where people can get active and get engaged. They can contribute to surveys or policy contributions, and it happens automatically. That's the power of technology. We are
So it's like a database?
Like a database. It's a thoroughly modern political campaigning outfit. It's built upon the US model, where there is no centralised or personal little fiefdoms. It's what people are motivating and activating those within their community to the best of their ability. They can contribute through our web portal, and it's quite comprehensive. It's got not only our policy positions, it has ongoing surveys and contributions. It has daily action plans where people can take what steps they want to do. They can print off materials. They can contact their local Australian Conservatives representatives and get engaged as much as they want to. Now, it is a different model. I make no bones about that, but that's why with a different model. We've got the third largest membership base of any political party in the country. We have a fantastic fundraising base. We took 30,000 individual donations and contributions in the last 12 months. We don't have administrative responsibilities and burdens apart from our state directors who contribute to responding to emails and handling some of those things, because they're the impediments to actually running an efficient party. Yep. Conservatives believe in efficiency. Now, for every person that wants to have a membership list and have, you know, control of their little branch structure, there's hundreds of people who don't. Yep. And we'll cater to the hundreds, thank you very much, because, you know, those people who want to recreate the party they left, the reason they left it is because they couldn't get what they want. Yeah,
that's exactly why I left the major party I was in, was because I felt like I had zero influence and zero control. It was a frustration thing.
But that arises, if I may say so, because you're not part of whoever is in control of the faction. So if you disseminate that, and if you're part of the Australian Conservatives, there is nothing to stop you from having, you know, the Dave Pellowe Conservative group that's coming out, you know, every month or every 2 months. You can do it in a pub, you can do it and have a vox pop if you want to create some videos, tip them up to us, and we're happy to share them on our website if they're good enough, Dave.
Yeah, if they're good enough. Brilliant. Little plug, donate deep. It only gets better with more money. Now,
ain't that the truth?
It really does. We can all sing that chorus. Putting you on the spot, but I love that about you as a guest. Nothing's off the table. Can you think of any particular policies or initiatives, strategies that have come from the grassroots where it maybe hadn't occurred to or hadn't been heavily weighted by the central head office prior?
Well, look, one of the interesting things that's raised with me repeatedly is about gun laws. Now, I don't understand gun laws in this country, which is a bit odd for a federal politician to say that, because they're different from state to state. But people have said you've got to find out about it because, you know, they're important to some people. There's some inane regulations and things that are attached to it. So what have I done? Whilst we're exploring that, I've applied for a firearms license, for example. Not because I'm a gun person, because I want to go through the process. I went to a shooting range to understand what was there. I spoke to the people that were there. Now, we still haven't finalised the policy in that area, but it's going to be an informed policy. The other thing is in defence policy, that a lot of people said, what are you doing for our veterans? And so we got someone who had served many tours of duty in Afghanistan, who commanded a particular group of individuals, to come in and spend really a month with us to make that contribution to the policy development. We have people volunteering in the health space, so they're all under the development. But in the end, the broad policies that we've released have been a result of not only the history that I've had in certain areas, but also consulting with our membership. And we've had tens of thousands of responses. Some have been surprised me, quite frankly, and been really, really good ideas. But in many instances, it's been reflective of where I've thought that the broad conservative view was, and that's been verified by members.
What we've seen in Western society, particularly Australia and New Zealand, and for me, I've had a focus through the tour of Stefan Molyneux and Lauren Southern on the assault on free speech. Now we've had the battle for a long time. 18C, particularly heinous, you know, incursion on our civil liberties there. But it seems lately that the opposition to free speech has intensified to a point where the enemies of free speech are actually prepared to be violent in the streets in their opposition to it. Has something changed, or is it just this subjective experience that I've had as the promoter of a tour?
I think something has changed, but let's be frank, our opponents believe in free speech as long as you echo what they agree with. They don't believe that anyone should have a dissenting opinion, and if you do, of course, they paint it in a moral caricature. They try and say, well, no, morally you're a lesser person because you don't agree with me. Now, I don't agree with a heck of a lot of things that people say out there, but they've still got the right to say it, but you've also got the right to rebut it. And we're seeing that shut down in so many areas, and governments are being complicit in it. They will jump on someone for an aberrant word. I noticed that Boris Johnson in the UK compared burqa wearing Muslim women with letterboxes, and everyone got on him and said he should apologise. But then this morning, Rowan Atkinson, that doyen of comedy, said it was one of the funniest jokes he said, and you should never apologise for a decent joke, only for a bad one. You know, we've got to defend it. Whether it shouldn't be about the tribe, it shouldn't be about the side. It's got to be about the principle. And that's why with Lauren Southern or Milo Yiannopoulos or Stefan Molyneux or any of those others, you don't have to agree with them. You don't have to attend. But there are a whole bunch of people that do. It's just like Donald Trump. You can keep going on and on and on. And the success that is happening now is that people recognise the established order is failing them, because the established order has been taken over by the left. Absolutely captured by the left. And in community services and religious services, the assault on Christianity and other churches, on politics and credible institutions, it's all been diminished because the left have dominated it, and we've got to start pushing back as hard as we can.
Where do you see the major battle for Australian Conservatives, your party specifically? What's the next thing as an organisation you need to really tackle and find some success in?
Broadly, we've invested the last 5 or 6 months in getting our ground game right, if I can put it like that, knowing from where we should be launching our assault platform in an electoral sense. And people like our message, they like what we stand for, they like our policy positions, they like the idea and the concept behind it and our principles. But not enough people know about it. They go the Australian who, or the Conservative what, and so that is our major mission, is to get our brand awareness out there. We know we've got a product that people are very happy about. We've just got to get in front of millions more people, and that's what we've been doing. We've done the research, we've got ads and creative being put together now. Our messaging is rather simple. We've got the technology, which is the best for a centre-right party in our campaigning technology, I think, anywhere, and we just now need to unleash that, and that'll be happening in the weeks ahead. By
centre-right, you of course mean fascist.
Yes, heteronormative fascists, that's right.
5 minutes, all right.
You know, look, that's the great demonisation, isn't it? Unless you're part of the centre-left, you're an extremist. But we're going to push back against all of that, and you can best do that with humour in some ways.
Well, fascist is becoming as meaningless a word as racist. It's been so over-attributed to anybody right of Stalin that it now is being completely diluted beyond any potency.
But fascism is about the intolerance. It's a subjugation of others. It is the oppressive state. Now, the only ones who fit that bill are the left.
That's right.
The Antifa campaigners, the Green campaigners, you know, the Bill Shortens of the world, and unfortunately too many in the Liberal Party too are saying you can't say that, you can't do that. Let's not stand in the way of the UN, and let's not buck the climate agreements.
Totally revealed by the true meaning of what they mean when they say hate speech. What they really mean is banned speech. It's the stuff they want to control, the thoughts they don't want to allow.
Exactly, and we're seeing it not only in public life, but we're seeing it in schools, we're seeing it in some religious congregations, we're seeing it in other institutions, like the United Nations, and importantly, we're seeing it now in the media. This self-censorship of stuff that goes on in the media is appalling, and even those, those forums in which we perhaps took for granted that there would be an open mic, like Facebook, Twitter, any of those other communications, Instagram and things, they're all going against those that they don't like, and they're trying to shut them down, and that's really dangerous for society.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome, mate. Always a pleasure.